Just wait for a second. Abe's in Israel, and we were talking, and I said, let's go off and come back on because just when you do the recording, when you send the recording, don't send the short recording because that's going to be the wrong one.
Okay, we'll send the long one. Kuf Aleph. Well, Kuf is based on the bottom. If you eat the gida nosh of a pig, right, a non-kosher animal, Rabbi Yehuda says you get 2 sets of malchus for eating the pig and for gida nosha. Rabbi Shimon says you don't get anything. Now, Rabbi Shimon Manavshach, I don't understand. If he holds that a second isser can have a chalois on the first isser, l'chayv nami mishum gid. He should be chayiv for the non-kosher animal and for the gid anosha. If he ain't isser chalal isser, at least l'chayv mishum tuma dekodim. When the fetus of the pig is created, it's created before the gid anosha. So you don't have to even come on to isser chalal isser. There's still an initial isser. And then the ein beginning benois and tam l'chayv mishum gid. Even gid didn't have no tam. There was no previous isser to have a chalois of an isser. That means you're only chayiv for eating a non-kosher animal if it has flavor. If it doesn't have flavor, there's no isser for behemoth tmeya. Well, then at least you should be chayiv for gid. So the Gemara doesn't understand why Rabbi Shimon would say you're potter for everything. So explains Rava, Amar Rava, loydim k'sover ein begidim b'noisim tam. Ein achanan. He holds gid don't have flavor. So there's no prohibition for the non-kosher animal. Shiny awesome, the Amar Kra, Akein lo yachlu b'nei Yisrael gid anosha. Mi shegida osr b'sor mutter. In all cases, b'nei Yisrael eat kosher food, kosher meat, kosher animals. The meat is permitted, but the gid is osr. Yatzazu shegida osr b'sor osr. A non-kosher animal, the meat is osr. So therefore, the gid is also osr. The gid is osr because the b'saro is not mutter. Let's say an animal becomes a nevela. You shoot it, and it dies, and it's a nevela. Ha'oichel gid anosha shel nevela. Rav Meir mechayiv shtayim. Rav Meir says if you eat it, you're chayiv for nevela and gid. Chachamim oimrim eno chayiv ela achas. You're only chayiv for gid anosha. They will hold that ein isser chalal isser, and the second isser of nevela has no chalois. However, moedim chachamim l'Rab Meir, ba'oichel gid anosha shel oila. An oila is kulo kolil, and it's osir bana. So it's not a regular isser. It's a larger isser. B'shel shor nisko, which is also osir bana. There, chachamim will say that there is isser chalal isser, since the isser is a larger isser. Chayiv shtayim. Man haitana. Who is that Tana? That the be'isr koilel. That if it's just, for example, gid anosha is, you can't eat the gid anosha, but the rest of the animal you can eat. Nevela is a broader isser. You can't eat the whole animal. Now, who is that Tana who holds that a regular isser koilel, isser chalal isser lesle, but isser koilel be isser chomer isle. But if it's now a more machmir dika isser, not just involves more things, but also it's stricter. For example, there's isser hana. Who is that? Amarava Rabbi Yosef Glili. He learns it from the following: a tame person, she'achal kodesh, who eats kodshim, bein kodesh tame, bein kodesh tohor. Whether this piece of kodshim was previously tame or tohor, chayiv. You have to bring a chatas. You would get kores if you did it b'mezid. Rabbi Yosef Lili Oimer, yes, Tomei she'ochlas ator chayiv. if the Tomei eats a piece of Torah kochim, you'd be chayiv kares. However, if the kochim piece was already Tomei she'ochal as Tomei potter, shaloi ochal al davar Tomei. He ate a davar Tomei. Now you can't eat a davar Tomei, but that's only b'malchus. That's not b'kares. Amru lo, af Tomei she'ochal Torah. Even a regular Tomei person who goes to a piece of Torah kochim, the moment he touches it, becomes Tomei. Kivan shenagot bo tmeyu. So you should agree with us that you'd be chayiv for both. But Rabbi Yossi Aglili is explained like this. Shaper ko amile Rabban Rabbi Yossi Aglili. How does Rabbi Yossi Aglili answer? Amar Rava, it depends. B'nitma haguf akachach nitma basar. If the person became Tomei first, then the meat became Tomei. In that situation, kol amilo pligi de chayiv. There you'd have to bring a chatas. The Isser Kores Kodem. The Nitma Guf and eating Kodesh B'Nitma Guf, that happened first, and that you get Kores. Ki Pligi B'Nitma Bos Vakachach Nitma Guf. If initially the Kodesh became Tomei, there's only Malchus if you eat it. And later on, your Guf became Tomei. Rabbanan Islu Isser Koila. Rabbanan say that the fact that there's a broader Isser that has a chalois will take hold. The migud mechay b'chatichos ta'arus ta'alma. Since any tohor thing of kochim, he will be osir. Chayv nami chaticha tmeya. You're chayv even if the piece was tummy. However, Rabbi Yossi Aglili Leslie isser koilo. Just because something is more broad, he doesn't say isser chalal isser. The migul amin. Rabbi Yossi Aglili, fine. Maybe just a lenient law. But maybe a more chabertika, like things that have Isra'ano, like oil and shornisko. Or different. If your body is tamei, you get kores. Shorai tumei aguf b'kores. Ravashi man leimelon. The tumas aguf chamura. Maybe dimadumas pasach. Who says that? Because your body is tummy, that's more chomer than if the meat became chomer. And there's a reason to think that meat that became tummy is more chomer. The less leitar b'mikvah. You can't take food and be matarid in a mikvah like you can with kalim. Rabbi Yossi Aglili Leslie is koilel. How can you say Rabbi Yossi Aglili doesn't hold of an Isser koilel of Atanya? Let's say Shabbos and Yom Kippurim fall on the same day, and Shogag v'asu malacha, and he did malacha. Minayin shechayv al zeh b'atzma v'al zeh b'atzma. You're chayv for Shabbos and chayv for Yom Kippur. Talmud loimer Shabbos he, Yom Kippurim hu. Divrei Rabbi Yossi Aglili. Rabbi Kiva oimer ein chayv ala achas, because he holds Rabbi Yossi Aglili that this broader Isser, on Yom Kippur, you can't work, you can't eat. On Shabbos, you can eat. But Shalach Rav Mishum Rav Yossi Rav Chanina, Kachat Social Mishnah, the Eipeth. The Shitas are reversed. It's Rabbi Kiva who says Yichayev 2, and Rabbi Yossi Aglili is only Chayev 1. So, if he holds that ein Isser Chalal Isser no matter what, even it's more Chomerdik or it's a Isser Koil. Sholach Rav Yitzchak Bar Yaakov Bar Giyur Mishum Rav Yochanan L'divrei Rabbi Yossi Aglili L'mayad Apchen. The way that we reverse the Shitas, Shogag b'Shabbos v'Hizib Yom Kippurim. He knew it was Shabbos. He knew it was Yom Kippurim, so he was amazed, but he didn't know it was Shabbos. Chayiv. You're still chayiv achatas for the Shabbos. Hizib b'Shabbos v'Shogag b'Yom Kippurim. You knew it was Shabbos, you didn't know it was Yom Kippurim. Potter. My timer. Why? Amr Abaya, Shabbos Kviya v'Kaima. Shabbos exists since Ma'aser Bereishis. Every seventh day you have Shabbos. So therefore, the violation of Shabbos precedes the violation of Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur and Beidina de Kokovile. You have to wait for Bezdin to be Kovei the Chodesh. So Shabbos is a issue that existed before Yom Kippur. Once Friday night comes, L'chora, they both start at the same time. So El Amar Rav Shmodav. This is not a case of Yom Kippur falling on Shabbos. It was a time where the government prevented people from keeping Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur was Wednesday. But Chachamim told the Jews to keep Yom Kippur Shabbos. So it was not a case, it was really only Shabbos. They all explained it the same way. We said the Gida Nosha was already also in the time of Yaakov. Tanya. Lo yachlu b'nei Yisrael. V'lo nikru b'nei Yisrael ad Sinai. The Jewish people were not called Yisrael until Sinai. Ela b'Sinai nemar. The prohibition of Kiddush Nosha was only had a chalois by the time of Matan Torah. Ela shenichta b'mkoimo. Moshe Rabbeinu was told to write it there. Leida meizatam nesram, so that they knew why it was awesome. Mosif Rabba avayisu b'nei Yisrael Yaakov aviyam. When the 12 Shvatim buried Yaakov and they took him to Canaan, it says Bnei Yisrael. So why do you say they were only called Yisrael by Sinai? Yeah, but Lachar Maisa. This was way after the struggle with the angel. And therefore, by that time, Hashem had referred to Yaakov as Yisrael. Let at least be that the Gida Nosha be also from the time that they were called Bnei Yisrael. Omer lay, that can't be. V'chitor panim nitna. The Torah was given at one time. Hahu shayt lavshas ma'asahavi. It wasn't the time of the wrestling with the angel. The loshas matan Torah havi. So it has to be at one. So this Tana holds it was given at matan Torah. So just like we asked by the Gida Nosha, by Behemoth Tmeya, what about Aver Menachai? Does the prohibition of Aver Menachai exist by Behemoth Tmeya? Torah Rabbana. Aver Menachai noig beBehemoth Chai v'oif. It exists by domesticated, undomesticated, and birds. Bein Tmei and Bein Toirin. Whether they are kosher or not kosher. Div Rabbi Eliezer. V'chachamim oimrim eino noig ela b'toirin. The Chachamim says that Aver Menachai is only held by kosher animals. They both learned from the same pasuk. Rak chazak levotiach kol adam, ki adam hu hanefesh. And we'll continue this tomorrow. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock, Daf, and 8 o'clock we'll pick up Tzurba.
Tzurba tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Okay, fine. Okay. Abe,
Thank you.
Abe is
Thank
in
you.
Israel, Bernie. He's
Say
lucky.
again?
Abe is in Israel.
Hey, good, Yeshikoyach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
down the road from your office, your son's office.
Very nice.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.